welcome to Coffee with Pam and Don. He's my co-host. I'm his co-host. I'm not really sure how that works. We got on here to, share some good stories about Northridge, where we grew up, and where we are then and where we are now. We got another special guest today. I'm really excited, and his name is Ron Short. Hello, Ron.
Hello.
So excited. I do have a little bit of news this morning. I'm really excited. I'm a great aunt. I got a new baby yesterday. My nephew and Sierra had a baby, and we're all from Northridge. We're all sharing stories, and I just had to share that little piece of good news. Scott Stamper is the grandfather. He is passed away, Sierra's daddy, and then my nephew Brent, his mother and father's passed too. So, but we're my family, my mom, she's a great grandma, and I'm a great aunt, and we're going to give that baby all the love and Grammys that he can handle. And I want Ron to share his story of back when in the day, where he was then and where he's at now. And Ron, you just say hello to our viewers and tell Northridge hello and share your story with us.
All right. Thank you very much for having me on this morning, Pam and Don. It's a great honor. I've watched the first few episodes and really impressed, and glad to be a guest today. Anybody remembers me back in high school? I was in the band all 4 years, and was one of the guys. But my favorite part of being in band was getting to go to the football games every Friday night. So I enjoyed sports, and after high school, got out a half a year early, actually, because at that time in my life, and still is, my biggest hero was my dad. My dad was a great family man, raised a family, and my goal was to raise a family. And at the time, I had a girlfriend, and I graduated in January, got married in July. We had a son a couple years later, and here I am 40 years later almost, and I'm a grandpa, going to be a grandpa again in June, going to have a second granddaughter. And in between there, I did a lot of music, working day jobs, playing music on the weekends, traveling in groups, and again, just got into the ministry. And now for the last 9 years, I've been a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I work at a church radio station, music minister, produce albums and CDs and for other groups. And if Pastor Tim comes up and asks me if I know how to do something, I'll say no, but I'll figure it out. And by the end of the week, I try to put the project together. And so just a little bit of everything, but proud of my Northridge heritage. And proud to be a polar bear. I'm always polar bear, be a polar bear through and through till the day I die. So.
Well, now, Ron, you've got a program though on the radio station. What's the call letters and what's the name of your program?
Okay, it's we're WGNZ Radio. It's actually 11:10 a.m. It's been on the air for almost 40 years, and Pastor Tim and his family own that radio station. Recently, we added 104.3 FM. It's a simulcast, so we're on both signals. It also streams online. Pastor Tim was one of the first radio station owners to start streaming, one of the first stations this side of the Mississippi. So he got that technology early. I think they didn't even call it streaming back then. It was just listen to the radio online. And we've advanced. We've got radio apps, and we're on the TuneIn app as well. And my program is called Sounds of the Valley, as in reference to the Miami Valley. What I do is I feature local and regional artists, stuff that you don't hear on the regular network, which is the big gospel artists in our genre. And so I play local groups, do artist spotlight, make announcements for groups and churches in the area and stuff like that. So that airs twice a week. Comes on at 1 o'clock, and then we do a repeat airing on Sundays at 12:30. So Wednesdays at 1 and Sunday afternoons at 12:30, right after church service.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I have a little bit of an advantage here. I've kept in touch here with Ron through through the years here now, even through my accident. So Ron, you reach out and would pray for me and over me for my accident that I had, the motorcycle accident. But he's very humble, by the way. He's also a accomplished artist, or not artist, well, artist too, but writer, author. And I got the benefit of getting this autographed book from him, from Ron. So Ron, take a minute. Tell us about your book, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, the book is, obviously you've seen the title there. It's called The Need Word, and it's a Christian fiction novel. And it's a story about a lady who's just tried to be basically too strong for her own good. She was trying to be the rock of her family and just gets herself in all kinds of trouble, just trying to be too strong, I called it. And so it takes her through a situation and how that she learns valuable faith lessons in a real life setting, and not, grows in her faith in 3 different areas. And so it's something I worked on for about 5 or 6 years. I'd wake up in the morning about 5 o'clock in the morning, sneak into my office here at the house and write, and just wrote when I could and wrote when I felt the urging. And I've started the second book, which is a follow-up, but I haven't worked on it in a while because I've been busy being a grandpa. So I kind of got sidetracked.
That's an awesome book, Ron. It's very powerful. So I appreciate that. And
thank you.
Our viewers, if you want to support a Ridger, a fellow polar bear, I highly recommend this book. And you did mention it's available on Amazon, right?
Yeah, you can go to Amazon. You need to, because I'm not a very famous writer, you need to search out the Need Word and add my name in there, and you'll find it. There's a link there. I do have a few in the garage still, and boxes, and the wife would sure like to have that space in the garage. So if you want to get an autographed copy, I can arrange that for you too. Paperback. I have paperbacks here at the house. Now on Amazon, they have, if you like to read ebooks, they have the ebook version, the paperback and hardcover on Amazon.
Awesome. So we're going to ask you some questions and hopefully get you embarrassed. What is your favorite memory from back then? And I've seen Peanut. I've seen pictures of you and Peanut, Grandpa.
Oh yeah.
All Ron. Definitely a good grandpa. But let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Right, Pam? Let's ask him about some of his maybe most embarrassing, humbling times and great times at Northridge.
The story that I still tell to this day, Mr. Howell, we mentioned him earlier, and in broadcasting, he was the teacher that demanded the most out of me. Of course, me and Desky, James Desky, we worked together. We was always known as Short and Desky back in those days. And I remember he gave us a project to work on, and they were going to go to a trade show, and our assignment to Short and Desky assignment. And I can tell this now because Mr. Howell's passed, so he'll never know the truth. But I think he did already. But anyway, he gave me and Desky an assignment about 3 or 4 weeks out. So I want you guys to record an audio. Here's the theme of the trade show. And of course, me and Desky were just kind of like tripsing through high school. It was like, okay. And we had yearbook together, which was in 4th period, I believe. And right before lunch, and he looked at me like on Thursday, and he said, we need to record that thing. I said, oh yeah, it's due tomorrow. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what should we say? So we got a piece of paper out, and we put it together. Most of we were pretty creative and worked well together. So we threw it together, went in that afternoon, and recorded it. Just one, back in those days, you had the old reel to reel. So we would hit record, and we would say a line, and we would hit stop, and we would look at each other and say, okay, now what do we say? And we hit record again, say the line, and I think I put it together. Well, I waited till Friday because they were leaving out Friday in the school van. Waited till he wasn't in. I had broadcasting 6th period and right before band. So I waited till I knew he wasn't at his desk, and I dropped that reel to reel off on his desk and just cringed. And I worried all weekend, oh man, he's going to kill us. And So sure enough, Monday morning, he calls us to, hey, guys, come up here. You know how Mr. Howe was. He'd shake his head when he talked and flap that hair and swipe that hair back out and say, I just want to tell you guys, we got so many compliments on that audio, and it was really turned out really good. And he was just building us up and everything. And I was just sweating bullets. I was like, the last thing he said has stuck with me my entire life. He looked at me and he looked at Desky and he says, if I knew you guys had thrown this together at the last minute, I'd kill you both. And I said, oh, okay. And I knew at that minute he probably knew that that's what we did. And so I still tell that story, but he would take me aside and he would say, you do good work, but I want you to do better. You do this right, I want you to do better. And he was the one teacher that always tried to extract the best from me. So that's my favorite high school story, other than Friday night after the football games once a year. The last home game, all the guys would do a long john run. So if you ever saw that we would run around the building out of the shop and down through where all the parents were waiting to pick us all up after the football game, everybody in their long john tops and bottoms. So that was my second favorite part.
Yeah, I remember, Mr. Howe, I really enjoyed my time in the radio station. Yeah. WGXM 97.3 on your FM dial.
Yes. There you go.
I did the rock review. I think I did the rock review lunchtime. Yeah, it was a good time. I really enjoyed that class and being on the radio. And Mr. Howe, he was a good teacher. He let us get away with a lot, though. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
I say that out loud. He did, but good guy.
Yeah.
So we talked about some of your more embarrassing and humbling times. What is the well, that's a good time though too. It was humbling and it was a great time. But what, if you had to take any memory from high school, from those 4 years or 3.5 for you, what would be the number one most priceless memory you have?
Probably I was already working a second shift job and everything when you guys were going through the senior, the proms and the award ceremonies and all that. But probably my most proudest moment was Desky calling me and telling me that we had, as a team, Short and Desky had got put on that broadcasting plaque wall of remembrance. I remember Frankie Myers and I think a couple of the Pollard boys up there, and that was, I'm getting choked up now just thinking about that. That was for me, and Desky shared with me a few of the words, that Mr. Howe had said about us, and that was, I think for me, as far as my high school career, so to speak, that was probably my number one moment, even though I was already out of high school by then.
That's awesome. Obviously I'd be doing this in person with Pam. We had that cup of coffee a little over a year ago, and I talked about having this show, and we do it in person if it wasn't for this COVID-19 and the social distancing, right? But since we're all approaching or over the age of half a century young, and 35-year reunions coming up, by the way, we want to just have a cup of coffee together, Pam and I, share a show, and invite guests like yourself on. Maybe share with us what you've been doing to keep positive, optimistic. What are you doing to persevere? And, Pam and I share some things, and we'll close it up. But share with us if you don't mind.
Well, I think number one, just trying to, a lot of the news that comes out continuously is the negative side of the news, but there's always a positive side of the news. For us as a family, supporting one another, being close, even if I can't be in the same room with my son and daughter-in-law, doing FaceTime or Facebook Messenger live video, just communicating constantly. For me, my faith, just staying in a positive mode, reading scripture, listening to messages of faith, because everything in the world is temporal anyway. It's all going to pass.
Right.
no matter what it is. And your faith and your family and your friends, those are things that you can depend on. Those are things that you can count on no matter how bad circumstances get. Your core values, your core beliefs, your core circle is what will help you, stay not only up in the down times, but I share this story a lot. I've come home a few times and tell my wife, I'll say, you know what, that song Pastor Tim and I wrote, it hit #1 on so-and-so chart. And she'll look at me, she said, that's great. Take out the trash. It's flowing over. So that, a moment where you're not staying so high above yourself, it's just staying grounded and staying rooted to who you are, no matter if you're way up, you're going to have up times, you're going to have down times, but your core beliefs and values and support group will always be there for you.
Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate you, Ron. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being a guest. It's really good to virtually be with you and see you on this video.
Yes.
Pam, the hostess with the mostest, what do you want to close this out saying?
In my closing, I want to say thank you, Ron, for coming on and sharing your story. And, we are from a small community where we all share a lot of love and we all, get to talk. And this is, I have a blast doing this. This is so much fun. Don we're yin and yang. I'm, and so I just want to say, support your local artist, and I'm definitely going to get your book, check it out, and I can't wait. And Northridge, we've got a writer. We've got to check this out. And everybody stay safe, stay blessed. Peace out. I love you all. I really, if you like what me and Don's doing, give us a thumbs up or a like, and share it with somebody else. And we'd love to have more people on. And it's enjoyable to hear where they were then and what they're doing now. So I love you. Peace out. Take care. Stay safe.
And what do I always say, Pam? Make it a great day, because you truly have a choice in making it a great day. And while you're at it, drink good coffee. Don, Pam, and our special guest, Ron Short, out.